Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Crazy D's Equipment. So today we're going to give you guys a chance to help us make some decisions. So the question is, fix it or sell it? So guys, we're out here at Joe's place, and you guys have kind of seen Joe in the videos and stuff. He's kind of one of our buyers and helps us do this stuff. He hauls a lot of equipment for us and that kind of stuff. And we're getting ready to either set up a big purple wave auction or auction time auction. Haven't decided that one out yet. Or some of these might actually come up to the shop and have the dock fixed, and they'll end up on the lot. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk down some of the rows of some of the stuff that we've dragged home in the past few months, and we're going to let you guys decide, once we tell you about the tractor a little bit, should we fix it or should we sell it? So let's take a walk. So guys, we're going to start with the Alice here. The dock's not even seen this tractor. This thing came straight up from Oklahoma. It does run. Joe got it to start and he drove it on the trailer from down there. It is a running, driving machine, but it's a very neglected machine. There's lots and lots of oil leaks and lots of wiring issues and stuff like that need to be done. So here's the question, Doc. You've kind of looked it over for a second ago.
Yeah.
Is this tractor, with what we have to do, in your opinion, something that we should fix up for the shop? It is just a 190. It's not a 190 XT. So, and you know how they sell. On the lot, this tractor would roughly be a $6,000 to $7,000 tractor in peak condition. Mm-hmm. Now the paint's pretty rough on this thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it's more down to a $3,000 or $4,000 tractor. But what do you think?
I think, due to the fact that it runs pretty good, I understand.
Yeah.
Depending on really what you want to do is, I mean, as long as there's not really like a low drain in the battery or anything, wiring issues aren't a huge problem.
So you think that it might be worth a fix? The rubber's pretty good on it too.
Rubber's really nice on it. Yeah.
But guys, it's up to you. Tell us in the comments. 190 Alice, fix or sell? Guys, the next tractor we're going to take a look at real quick here is the John Deere 4630. This is another one of those tractors that came up from Oklahoma. Joe says the previous owner's wife said the engine had been rebuilt and stuff, but it runs really good. The only issue that really it has is lots and lots of cosmetic issues. I believe there's a door and a missing from the cab. The interior's pretty rough of the cab, and it's missing some sheet metal, but it does supposed to have a freshly rebuilt motor. So, Doc, knowing that information, how much time and effort do you think that would be to put in this thing? Because a really peak, nice, pretty crisp dollar bill one would be about 10 grand. This one on Purple Wave And even on our lot, we'd be lucky to get 3 or 4 out of it in this shape. So how hard do you think it would be to get the cosmetic stuff and redo a cab kit in this thing? And would it be worth putting the money into it to get knowing what the prices are?
I mean, getting the tin work and stuff isn't going to. We mainly got to just find some decent looking tin work. She's a little, like you said, she's a bit rough.
A bit rough might be an understatement.
I'm trying to give her some credit, but like I said, she's a little rough. But it's mostly cosmetic. It's tin work, and let's just see if you can find a salvage yard that had one that's engines win or something like that to get the tin work. It would probably be worth that little bit extra. But.
Worth the extra. So, guys, tell us in the comments: 4630, fix or sell? All right, guys. Next tractor. So this is a G707 diesel with a Derby loader, which Derby loaders were actually made in Derby, Kansas. Little Kansas tie again. This tractor here runs. When it came in, Joe was tinkering on it, and it was hydro locked from sitting so long. He was able to pull the injectors, push out get the waters pushed out, and got it to fire up. But when he went to drive it, it wouldn't shift into gear. It was shifting the gear, but there was definitely a clutch issue. After doing some tinkering and doing some looking at it, Joe realized that it's got a brand new clutch in it, but it needs to be adjusted out, and it's a little bit of a stinker to adjust the clutches on these things. Cosmetically, it's rough. Let's go. It's above rough. It's freaking ugly. And it's got good rubber on one side, very bad rubber on the other side. This tractor up and running, peak condition, and good cosmetic on the lot. We'd be talking $4 or $5 grand with the loader. And this condition, we're talking, if the doc fixes the clutch, we're talking roughly $3,000, maybe $2,500. So, and you've already made it clear just a minute ago to me that you have no interest in adjusting that clutch back to right. None at all.
Not really.
Not really. Okay. So here's the question on this one, guys. Finish fixing or sale? And when I say sale, remember I'm talking just purple wave it the way it is. All right, guys. So next tractor, 560 Farmall LP, adjustable front end. It does have the quick hitch on the back. Thing is, on this tractor, hasn't run in years. When this one was found, it had been sitting in a pasture and probably had been there 10 years or so. Now the motor's not stuck, but we've done this a few times on these things. You know, a running 560 like this, 3,500, it was all $4,000, I'd say, painted up. $4,000 or $5,000, nice and painted up and pretty and in peak running condition. In this condition, a couple grand on the lot, $2,500 I might ask for it if it was in peak running condition, even though she needed some color. Probably be more in the zone of $1,500 or even lower. That would what you'd actually probably get out of it. You've took these on, you fixed them when I drag them home. Yeah. What do you think? Well,
Just to kind of go into a little bit of what I normally do when you bring me something like this, especially a propane, is the first thing I really need to do is replace the valves. And then you kind of work your way to the regulator, because it's most likely stuck closed or open, and then you go to the spark. So it's actually a fair amount of work.
And when you say valves, you're not talking engine valves, you're talking tank valves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just clarify that. I know a bunch of people heard valves and like, why is he replacing the valves in the motor?
The one's in the tank.
One in the tank, yeah.
And then, like I said, there's little valves type things in the regulator that's either stuck open or closed.
So yeah.
So
I get, that's what you're looking at here. My personal opinion, this is probably a little bit more work than I'd want to take on to put something on the lot. But, I mean, it's really up to you guys. What do you think? Fix or sell? Tell us in the comments. 560 LP. So, all right, guys. So now we're going to do the Ford backhoe. The 420. Runs, but needs an injector pump, and probably some other TLC. It's been sitting for a long time, but one of these in peak running condition and peak operating condition, easily a $5,000–6,000 backhoe, especially on the lot like that. In this condition, 2 to 3, I would guess. I'm guesstimating there. But you've worked on these motors before. How hard is that for you to repair that ejector pump? And how much money do you think something like that would cost?
To be straight, honestly with you, that would be taking the pump off and actually sending it to a professional. Because I don't have this stuff. I could do it myself, but I don't have the equipment nor the tools, some of the special tools it takes to do the rebuilding of that pump.
So what would that cost?
I'm not going to be honest with you. It's been a while since we've had one done.
So just give me a guess.
I remember when we had the one done for, I don't remember what tractor that was, but it was just a
6.
Pump work was about 8, I think.
About 800.
800.
About 800. So about $800.
Yeah.
So that's not really that bad, because I've had an injector pump rebuilt for one of my 930s, and it cost me $2,000. So eight's not that bad.
When I was doing some of my schooling, we sent one off, and it cost $5,000 when we got it back. But that was one of those off a semi truck. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could be very the case. So, but otherwise, guys, rubber's decent, paint's rough, but it's a work machine. So, how important really is paint? But we'll give you guys throw this one back at you too. 420 Ford backhoe. Is it a fixer, or just sell it the way it is? All right, guys, so the last tractor to get your guys' opinion on, a little G Alice. Now this tractor is, the serial number is 115. It's the first year and of the very first year of the G Alice being made. The engine is stuck. It's got that little tiny flathead. I forget which motor they used, but and just the equipment you see on it, the cultivator. There's no other equipment with it. Back about 2 years ago, one of these, even in this condition, could easily bring you $3–4 grand. Now the market's gotten really soft on these, and something like this is probably $1,000 to $800, because it is complete. It is all there. The motor is stuck, but you don't have a lot of equipment with it. A fully restored one that had 3 or 4 pieces of G equipment with it would bring you somewhere in the ballpark of that $3–4 grand that they used to bring. This one needs rubber in the front at least. I'm not for sure so much about the other side of the back, but this tire is good here. You've done these you've done one of these before, I believe we've done.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
My honest opinion, because it's kind of a nifty little thing, it's totally worth trying to maybe see what we can get done.
How hard do you think it would be to redo the motor?
They really aren't that difficult, really. They're just like any other rebuild. It's just the valves
the parts are easy to get.
They are fairly prevalent.
So, what do you think would be in the rebuild on this kit? On this?
Without really doing a whole lot of research, I might too sure. I know I've looked at some other smaller tractors like this, and they were about between 200 and 300 for that was a master kit. That's everything.
So about
minus
about
bearings.
300 or so for a
Yeah.
master kit to rebuild this. So I mean, you wouldn't really be hurting yourself that bad to rebuild it, would you?
No, not really. No.
So, well, guys, what do you think? Is this a fix or is this a sale? Tell us in the comments. So guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching this video. Looking forward to read all your comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, this is your chance to do it. And also check out our social media and you'll see a bunch of pictures and stuff of what's going on with these and maybe other things. And we'll send you a link to our Purple Wave auction on there too, possibly, as soon as I figure out how to do it. But otherwise, guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday.